Last night, a friend shared a video from Kyle Cease, and it's titled "A Talk About God." And the lady that he is working with in the video I can so deeply relate to her struggling with the God abandonment wound. And while I like Kyle Cease's approach, I'm sure he's helping a lot of people from all walks of life. But sometimes, unless you have been in that deep space, in that deep pain yourself, you can't quite feel into the soul of this other person, of this woman. And I just wanted to give my perspective from someone that has been there, knows all the feelings, knows all the reactions in the nervous system, the triggers, and how I have healed it. So I just want to offer that as a different perspective from someone that has walked through it and successfully made the connection to God. So I'm going to play the video first. Hopefully Kyle won't give me a copyright strike, but I want to play a part of the clip for context so it's not misconstrued. So here goes. Have a listen.
Yesterday you said we were going to get more into God stuff, and I kind of felt a pain in my gut because I have a problem with God.
Okay.
And I was in a very strong faith as a child that I at the time thought I would martyr for. I would die if someone had asked me to deny that faith, and was actively taught to do that. Yeah. And at 16 I started researching it intellectually. 18 came out, went into another fundamentalist faith that was adjacent, and found I couldn't handle that much rigidity in that one either. And so I've kind of just come to this place of acceptance that God really doesn't want anything to do with me, because everywhere I try to find him, I can't find him.
Wow, yes, this dear sweet woman, she's on the brink of tears, but holding it together for the audience, right? But I can so relate. I can so relate to her inner frustration and desperation of feeling like the abandoned orphan. And all I want to do is all I wanted to do is reach my arms through the screen and hug her close and just hold her. Just hold her in presence and make her feel seen, right? I so know her pain firsthand.
Yes. Wow.
And so when you say, God wants this for you, I don't believe he wants that for me.
Yeah.
Before I allow Kyle to jump in and try to feel out the situation, let me just say, again, this woman speaks from that deep God abandonment wound. I know it firsthand. I healed it firsthand too. But that is the ultimate, that is the breaking point. That is what broke my separation consciousness, because I exhausted myself looking for God externally of me as some skin that wrapped itself around me, right? And that ultimately led to my desperation and my giving up on God, feeling exactly like she does here. Quite frankly, I don't feel, or I feel that God doesn't want anything to do with me. That is the natural response of, I don't know, well, she's an older woman now. I would say she's my age. So she's been at this chasing the carrot game, chasing God game for at least 30 years, probably the same as me. And after you have run your proverbial feet sore trying to find God, you have to ask yourself, why is he so hard to find, right? The way our psyche interprets that is like this woman says, I don't think he wants anything to do with me. Now, of course, the premise of thinking of God as he, as another person wanting anything to do with us, is a big problem. That is trying to connect to God through the faculty of our separation awareness, and it's not possible. The only thing that is pursuing God in that way is our ego self, the separated self. And that aspect can never connect to God. It can practice religion, it could practice all kinds of spirituality, doing exactly what this woman has tried to do, attending all of these conferences in search for God. I tell you, it'll never get you there. But I'm going to let Kyle continue, and then I'm going to give you my perspective on how you can find God.
So I'm stuck in this place, and I've been in so many rooms like this with so many people who have these amazing experiences with God, and I'm on the floor begging for it, and I never get it.
Okay. Wow.
So,
can we work on it?
Oh, please.
And by the way, what if we're talking about two different gods? What if you
absolutely. I totally believe that. Yeah.
What if we have a different word for you?
I've tried so many.
Yeah. Okay.
Universe, source, inner self. Like I try on different ones, like coats, and wear them for a while.
Yeah.
And I'm open to finding a new definition for sure.
How about space?
That sounds empty.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Yeah. First of all, look at the body language. Her inner nervous system totally rejects that response, because how does that feel to her? I can tell you how that feels to me. It feels like the cold stainless steel table that a newborn baby is placed on coming out of the womb. It feels cold and sterile, an empty space. What this woman needs, and it's interesting that I use the womb analogy. What this woman needs is not the analogy of cold, empty space. She is looking for that warm embrace of the womb, a place of safety, right? So as you can see by her turning away physically from that, aside from the laughter in the room, it's a very painful situation for her that she's enduring. But for the sake of the environment, she's playing along. But this is a very painful moment, and it, like I said, it feels very cold, very sterile. This woman is not looking for space; she is looking for an embrace. Okay, that warm, safe embrace. She has never felt safe. Her nervous system has never felt safe. So, a person that has never felt safe doesn't need open space. It needs a tight, warm, safe embrace. So, yeah, this is how the reference struck me, and I felt it in my own gut. I felt it in my own nervous system, and she's giving you the physical reaction to that her body is totally rejecting the idea. Not saying that Kyle is giving her bad advice, but he's not connected at the same level to her gut, to her soul. And so he can't quite feel into what she needs here. Okay, let's carry on.
Okay.
Yeah. Can you just feel some space for a second? Empty also is the only place that light could be created. Right? In other words, emptiness is great. Like, a lot of people don't want empty, they want full, so they just want some heavy density, so they hold on to their problems.
Like he mentions heavy density here. It's just like I explained just a moment ago. Again, I'm not coming at this to try and solve this at an intellectual level, right? To change your thinking. We need to change the nervous system. We need to make this change at a somatic feeling, soul level in this person, in this woman. And so Kyle refers to it as density, heaviness, not because people want to hang on to their problems, but because the nervous system is wanting heaviness to anchor themselves. When you are in this situation, you feel so lost that you would rather have the heaviness of the density than nothing, right? And as I said, I interpret this density differently, whereas Kyle wants to give her open space. As I said before, the nervous system has had all the open space for her whole lifetime through the absence that God has created. Now, this is psychological, whether this is real or not. This is the story that her psyche has created for herself. So, offering open space to a person that has experienced the emptiness of the perceived distance of God for years, open space is exactly the wrong thing to be offering here. You see, the woman is looking for the tight embrace of God, the closeness, the connection to God, not open, empty space in which she will get lost, because that's the reason why she feels lost. She does not have the ability to connect to this wide open space. She needs closeness, something warm to embrace her. But I will explain further. So let's continue.
Right? Because then there's an I still, right? I can keep an I going if I have that problem, like if I have that guilt, if I have that history. But I just want to offer that emptiness is a gold mine. I want you to be excited about emptiness for a second.
Okay, now he's talking about the I, right? The ego. And the necessity of getting rid of the ego, getting the I out of the way. Eventually, that's going to become a very natural conclusion. But at this stage, I would say it's not time to try and shove the I out of the room, right? You can get rid of all the other furniture, but just leave the I be for now. The I is necessary to remain anchored. And it is needed until the shadow work is done, right? You've got to get down into the basement. Let I be upstairs and keep occupying the room, but you have to climb down into the basement of your soul. You got to climb down into your solar plexus and your sacral and your lower chakras, where your existential crisis needs to be addressed, right? So let I stay up there and shuffle around the problems for a while. We need to go deeper and excavate. And the issue really is, the I really is only there because we are so disconnected from ourselves and our feelings, because we have never had our feelings validated, you see. So let's keep the I in place, but we'll go in the basement and explore some of the deeper issues, the abandonment, the rejection, the not being enough narrative that we have formed around our being. Okay, let's see what else he has to say.
There's a space with emptiness, you know. If you want a new house, you want new stuff in your house, you have to clear out the old and get it empty first. But there's nothing but potential in an empty house for new stuff. But what if we brought our houses here and day one has been getting some old furniture out, has been identifying this couch is just not me anymore, this table's not me, this is whatever. So I'm getting it empty. But then some people are really used to having a cluttered house and don't want to get it empty first. They just want new furniture to push the old furniture out. But what if we just, yesterday, we're creating space by getting some stuff out and just kind of, we will still have some more to get out today, but also bring in some new stuff. But aiming for empty would be fantastic. And maybe the God that you've been looking for, you want to keep that, you know, tell me what to do. I want an action. I want you to see me in a specific way that still keeps all the stuff in the house, right? That I want you to see this old couch or acknowledge this thing or whatever. And I'm not quite sure what it was you were looking for or wanting God to do to feel acknowledged. But what if you just acknowledged the space?
Here's the thing, right? He isn't quite sure what she is looking for, to be acknowledged by God, but then he asks her to acknowledge the space. He's flipping the focus around, right? Not recognizing the need for validation of the human soul. She's not looking for stuff. She's not looking to validate the space or validate God. It's backwards. She's looking for God to validate her. So I don't find this approach very effective. Not in this situation. It might be effective in other situations, but here, this one has to be approached from the divine feminine energy, not the logical masculine, let's fix this scenario, right? This isn't about fixing. This is all about being seen for the fullness that I am. And I will try to explain this in more detail at the end of this video. Let's carry on with Kyle.
Right, what if, notice that when I said, what if we just said space, we almost didn't like that. But what if,
almost.
yeah. So what if this space is actually something tangible and it's not rejecting us, we're rejecting it?
Oh, ouch, 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 ouch. That hurt. That hurt. That hurt. That's almost a little bit of gaslighting. He's not doing it at a conscious level, but I'll tell you why it feels like gaslighting. That was a blow. That was a blow to the gut. There's a little bit of shaming and blaming energy attached to that. What if the space isn't rejecting us? Now you have to remember he exchanged space for the word God. What if space isn't rejecting us, but we are rejecting space? You see, the heavy of that is placed on our shoulders again. We are being blamed for rejecting the space. At a psychological level, that's a no-no. You cannot say this to a wounded person that has already carried the weight of not being wanted, right? Now, all of a sudden, the script is flipped around and you're basically saying that You're not wanting God, that somehow you rejected the space. That was a ouchie. I would not have said that.
Right? Like, I don't like space. This is too empty. It's like, actually, I'm so full. I seem empty to the human, right? But I'm so full. This space that it seems like nothing is where everything is where your healing is where infinite money is where you connect to so much that the most magical friendships and relationships form. It's all here. This space isn't trying to push you to do addictive things. This space isn't, trying to get you to figure out your purpose as if it's not enough. This space is purpose. And it's not necessarily that God's rejecting us as much as we're rejecting it. It's here all day for us to listen to, and we'd rather, live in on our screens or in the shopping or whatever. And it's like, I'm right here, right?
So I don't know yet how this session ended. I'm gonna have to go back and finish watching the video. If the woman, came away lighter from that, but overall now. I'm going to try and tie in how the connection is actually made. He's talking about filling an empty room. He's talking about the quantum field that has a lot to do with manifesting stuff, money, external things, right? Things that the masculine energy, the builder energy would be concerned with. How to provide, okay? I come at this healing thing from the feminine energy, the mother god energy. And at that level, you're not working so much with the quantum field, with the masculine energy, but you're working with the God spark, the God identity in your own heart, right? In your own womb. So, in a nutshell, because I don't have time, I have many musings on my channel that you can peruse in your own time, where I cover a lot of these issues that deal with deep psychological layers that don't get touched by this logical method, this masculine way of looking at things, of trying to fix things. Again, we're not here trying to fix things or fill our space with stuff. We're here to recognize that God is not out there. God is not the quantum field. God is not the manifestation that comes back into our own life. It's not what we see all around us. To an extent it is, but for the purpose of this video, for this lady to come home, to make connection to God and to quit chasing the carrot of trying to figure out how to fill this big space, empty space, that's not where it's at. You are the one that is the space, and you are the one that fills the space. In plain and simple language, you are God. God is on the inside of you, looking out through your two eyes, while we are looking through these eyes trying to find God. God is on the inside of you. God is you. God is your breath. God is every feeling and every experience that you're having in this life. The reason why we feel disconnected from God is because we are so disconnected from ourselves. Connection with God equates to connecting back to ourselves. By this time, this woman feels so low, so small, and so distant. There are galaxies, universes between her and God, and between her and herself, right? Because because we have been dismissed, invalidated, rejected for a whole lifetime, our psyche believes that we are so unworthy that God doesn't want anything to do with us. But because the psyche has externalized that, because of the religious beliefs that we were subjected to, we on the inside have alienated from ourselves so far that we don't even want anything to do with us. Because the reasoning, the subconscious reasoning behind it is, if God doesn't want me, why would I want myself, right? So, to keep it short, if you want to connect with God, you have to reconnect with yourself through self-love. You have to validate yourself in every place where the world invalidated you. Yes, you're going to have to be selfish for a while. You have to ingather the fragmented soul parts, psychological orphans that life has created for you. As you ingather through feeling, through the shadow work, ingather every exiled soul fragment, you're going to come back into wholeness, and you're going to find God as yourself, because you are the God essence. But at the moment, your soul is so scattered because you have experienced so much rejection that you don't know who you are and where you are. So come back home to yourself. And if you need help with that, I have published 6 books that walks through these psychological layers, and it can help walk you home.